Let's talk about P10. So first we're going to be talking about the cell model before the P10 mutation or the non-mutated P10. And this is going to be the apoptotic model, right? So when we have P10, right, it acts as a phosphatase, meaning it removes a phosphate from the PIP3 group and turns it to a PIP2 group. And in doing this, we will no longer have the recruitment and the activation of the AKT protein, and then PDK will no longer be able to bind. And with this not being able to happen, we're going to not be able to have BAD inhibited later on, which is important, right? And we're not going to get inhibition of apoptosis, and the cell is going to most likely use that BAD protein to undergo apoptosis. So we're going to look at the mutated model now here. And the mutated model is going to have P10 so that it is no longer able to dephosphorylate the PIP3. In not being able to phosphorylate the PIP3, it's going to have this PIP3 constitutively active, meaning that we are going to have continuous recruitment and activation of AKT and the use of PDK1 to act, and that's going to lead to the inactivation of BAD, which again is very important. And we're going to have continuous activation of the APOP's inhibitory protein, AIP. So we're going to go through the process of how all that affects it now. So with all that affected, we look at this here. So with the mutated model, right, we're going to have the BAD protein constitutively inhibited. With it being inhibited, it means that this is no longer going to bind to BCL2. And BCL2 is going to be constantly inhibiting the BH123 proteins, meaning they can't aggregate, and there's no cytochrome C release. Without cytochrome C release, we don't have any of these functions below happening, meaning we will not have the cleavage of executioner caspases that will lead to the cleaving of proteins and molecules required for apoptosis. And that is why our cells in the mouse tumor model, when they develop the P10 mutation, no longer undergo apoptosis, is because this BAD protein is now inhibited, meaning we can no longer go down this pathway. Okay? So that's a distinction between the mutated and the normal model. I appreciate you listening to my presentation, and I hope you liked it. Thank you.